What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Pros Only TV. You're here with myself, Roland. This is your match reaction for Manchester United versus Granada. Now, before we begin, I need everybody to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share this video after you're done. And let's get into it. Manchester United beat Granada 2-0 in the Europa League quarter-finals to take them through to the semi-finals to face Roma. Goals from Cavani and from Vallejo, an own goal from Vallejo from the Granada side to take us through to the semi-finals. Let's start with the lineups, man. De Gea being a second choice keeper, the cup goalkeeper. Ooh, it's a bit sticky for me, man. Like, he's looking a bit shaky right now. I mean, it's an interesting thing for the club going into the summer transfer window. I think they've literally got a decision to make now. He either going to be the number one and fight for it, or he's going to have to be sold. Because Dean Henderson looks like he's taken that number one spot, especially in the league anyway. So it should be very interesting to see what happens. I mean, I feel like Dean Henderson's come back this season and he's wanted to stake that claim, and I feel like he's got his England aspirations and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We've seen Tuanzebe come into the side. So 5 changes from Oli, but we've seen Tuanzebe come in the side. For Maguire gets a rest. He's played literally every game since he came into the club from last season. So good to see him get a rest. And Tuanzebe played well today. Decent. Didn't put a foot wrong, so he did all right. Luke Shaw got a rest. For Telles, I think that's just a normal change that happens in the Europa League for us this season. Telles coming in for Shaw. Matic coming in for McTominay, which is another one of those kind of regular changes. And then Rashford I believe Rashford is injured, to be honest, and Greenwood came in for him. So yeah, good to see Rashford get a rest at least, and hopefully he doesn't really strain himself too much. He possibly needs an operation, and I reckon he should just take it, to be honest, like as early as he can, so he can recover at least well for next season. But yeah, first half, Pogba captain as well, so an opportunity for him to kind of like lead the team out and, you know, show us what he can really do with the responsibility on his back. But yeah, first half, we started off pretty well, and like literally early on, we get the goal from Cavani. We have a great ball in the box from Tevez off the left. A great run off the ball from Pogba. A little back flick header from him into the path of Cavani, and he volleys it into the net 1-0. Good goal from Cavani, 2-2. I'm really like I think we're starting to see a little bit of like form going on here. Like I feel like I think he's overcome his injury now, and I feel like he's fit and ready to go for the next. Well, we've got at least 9 games left. Hopefully, we can get through to the final and beat Roma. But let's see. So yeah, he's going to be an asset right through to the end of the season, and yeah, we really need him. Obviously, with Martial out, and I think he's out for the rest of the season. So that's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, we were playing pretty well. I mean, Pogba was showing a few flashes of brilliance in the game. Just these little runs off the ball, a few passes here and there. Got a yellow card though midway through the first half. Sorry. And for me, I thought that after that point he was a little bit restricted in terms of what he was doing. Even though he was still playing well and still getting involved in the play, he was a little bit restricted just because of that yellow card. And fair play to Oli, man, took him off at half time, which was the right call. Obviously, after what happened earlier on the season with Fred and PSG, just needed to take him off just to safeguard him against getting a red card. So yeah. I mean, obviously, he was getting a bit of some antagonizing behavior from the Granada players. You know, like obviously, if you're on a yellow card, the opposing team are going to definitely get into the referee's face to try and get you sent off. So, I mean, it was good on Ole to take him off at half time. I feel like there's an interesting dynamic, especially from the last game where we saw that tactical tweak from United when we saw Bruno take a bit more of a reserved role, or maybe he's been pushed away from that central role, and Pogba getting that free role in that kind of middle zone of the pitch. Because we've seen it again today, like Bruno wasn't really involved in a lot of the build-up play. You know, I feel like he's going to be in a very more reserved role, and it might be a reserved role, but at the same time, I think he's pretty tired, to be fair. He's been playing a lot of these kind of meaningless games over the last season, and he's probably tired now. I feel like he's not really at the races anymore. It's been a long season for him. If he's played all these games, all these different cup games that he wasn't supposed to really be playing in, you know, plays again tonight, I feel like he's a little bit tired. I feel like it's a little bit of a tactical tweak. I feel like Pogba's been pushed into a more central role to be able to do what he can do. So there's a whole load of factors there that's kind of showing in Bruno Fernandes's performances of late. And I feel like, because I think he's only got 2 goals in his last 12 or 13 games or something like that. So it's really interesting to see. But yeah, go through the first half. We had another chance from Cavani and another chance from Greenwood, I believe. But yeah, they kind of fluffed their lines. Moving to the second half, really not much else really happened in the game. I think Granada, they put up a bit more of a fight. I feel like, knowing that they were 2-0 down and they needed to actually get something today. They played a lot better than they played in their home leg, and I'm a bit surprised at that. I mean, in the home leg is where you really press the team and try and show what you can do. But for whatever reason, they didn't do that in the first leg, and then they brought it to us in the second leg, which is, fair enough. You kind of got to take that, to be honest. But like, they tried a lot. Kennedy had a few chances, I believe, what's that guy's name? I think his name was Luis Suarez. Yeah, Luis Suarez. He had a few chances as well. They were pressing, they were probing, but really couldn't really penetrate, couldn't really like test De Gea. Maybe towards the end they tested De Gea a little bit, but nothing too much to worry about, to be fair. And yeah, 2-0. So then they score an own goal in the second half, literally late, like maybe like 5 minutes towards the end, of a crossing from Tellez, and yeah, an own goal. Like, I think Mata was going in for the header, and then an own goal. So yeah, pretty much that was it, man. It wasn't really anything too stressful. Like, the game was a pretty easy watch, to be honest. Like, there was nothing really going on there in our game, and we're through to the semi-finals now. The semi-final to look forward to. I believe it's at the beginning of May, and it's against Roma. I think that's going to be a tough game, to be fair, because Roma have got a lot of ex-Premier League players. Obviously, Smalling's going to be coming back to Old Trafford. You've got Edin Dzeko, Mkhitaryan. They got a few good players at Roma now. So it's going to be a very, very tough game. We need to see how we're going to be able to navigate it. I don't know how we're going to be able to navigate it, to be honest. Like, let's just hope all of our players that are fit are going to be firing, because we really need to win that semi-final, because it's a big, big marker on Oli. During his time, the 4 semi-finals that he's lost, he needs to win a semi-final. He needs to win a trophy to be able to sustain what he's saying he's trying to rebuild here. At the end of the day, trophies define managers at Manchester United, nothing else. You can beat as many managers as you want in the league, but when it comes down to silverware, you need to be able to win something, because our 2 previous managers have won silverware and you haven't. So you definitely need to step your game up in regards to the silverware. So hopefully they can go into the semi-final full of confidence and they can get the win, get to the final, and hopefully win the competition, because if they do that, then it really puts a marker down for Ollie's reign at the club, and hopefully kickstart something that he's trying to implement. But we have to wait and see on that. And then into the other games, I mean, Arsenal beat Slavia Prague 4-0, blitzed them in the first half. Much respect to Lacazette for taking a knee right in front of the players. I mean, those people, they should be embarrassed with themselves, man. Like, especially after that ban that they gave to the player. Like, it's a nonsense ban, because you ban the player who's been accused of racism, but then you also ban the other player who actually suffered the racism. From my perspective, like, UEFA know what they're doing. Like, they're saying show that racism, the red card, and all this respect and all of this nonsense. But we already know that they don't care about eradicating racism from the game. Like, at the end of the day, like, they've shown it from their behavior in terms of, like, fining clubs a minimal amount and behind closed door games and stuff like that. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't help anything. Like, my perspective always has been, black players, if they suffer racism, walk off the pitch. Then we'll find out if they got something to do. They're gonna have to do something about it, because you need the players to play. If you don't have the players, you can't play. So they got to do something about that. I don't know if they're gonna do something about that, but the black players definitely got to put some action into their own hands, because action is the only way that people are gonna listen. To be honest, we don't have to do the talking anymore. But much respect to Arsenal for slapping those racists. Like, I'm happy for them. They're facing Emery in the next round, so that's gonna be a tasty tie. I can't even lie. Like, it's gonna be an interesting tie for them, and it could be a Manchester United Arsenal final. I don't really want to see Arteta, because Oli hasn't beaten Arteta, so I don't really want to see Arteta. So I'm hoping Emery does them over in the semis, boy, because I'm not trying to see no Oli versus Arteta, because Arteta's got something on Oli, boy. Like, the judge don't work on Arteta. That's what I have to say on that. But Yeah, then on to the weekend, we are playing Burnley at home on Sunday, Brexit FC. But yeah, we're going to see if we can beat Burnley on Sunday. That should be an interesting game. Hopefully we can like kind of just end that and kind of like take second place for ourselves, to be honest. I feel like win that game, second place is ours, to be honest. So let's wait and see on that. And then the next round is coming in May. Semi-finals in May, so that should be an interesting game as well, against Roma. But I mean, this is it really. I mean, easy game, no trouble really. Like through to the next round, you can't complain, can you? Like, you know, no injuries, nothing like that. So I mean, I can't complain now. You know, like I was on Twitter doing my thing and all of that, but you know, it's just one of those things. But yeah, this is your match reaction: Manchester United versus Granada. Myself, Roland. Follow the socials. They're coming up next. Peace.